Market reaction prompt President Trump to change these tariff rates again?
The markets have seen what we're doing and celebrated them. And so I don't see how that would happen.
Okay, but not ruling it out.
No, I would rule it out because these are the final deals.
I'm not sure I really understand the line of questioning there. Host of Making Money on Fox Business, Charles Payne, joins us now. Charles, I mean, all last week we covered the fact that, Liberation Day, there's this huge sell-off anticipating the president's move with these tariffs. And then all we've seen is the markets respond favorably as these negotiations happen and as the deals come in. So what is next with all this, and what does the week look like?
Well, respond favorably to much higher tariffs than Wall Street anticipated, right? Everyone gamed this at the very beginning and was universally believed, okay, tariffs are going to go from like 2 to 10%. China maybe around 30%. We're getting 15%, 19%, 20%. What's the market doing? It's going up on this news, not down. So, she was kind of alluding to the taco trade. They're always off base with this stuff. They're not asking, hey, now that we've got this in place, we should be looking forward to all of them, because these aren't just tariff deals. Almost every single one of them comes with a giant package, 400 billion, 500 billion, 750 billion, bringing that money here. I had a guest on from Wall Street on Friday, like, well, we're not really seeing manufacturing. Yeah, let's build the factories. You're going to see the jobs. You're going to see the wages. This is just the very, very beginning. So, listen, China and Canada and Mexico, those are next on the table. China will come last. I look at Canada's economic data, and I know this guy was elected on an anti-Trump platform, but that party has destroyed the Canadian people. I feel so bad that they had to vote for him out of spite. And in the meantime, they have to do something. Canada has to step up to the plate. Mexico really made some good overtures last week, so they will step up to the plate.
Fair to say you sound optimistic.
I'm extremely optimistic. Yeah.
All right. Very interesting. We'll be watching for that. Meanwhile, got to ask you about the call by the president to fire the BLS chief, okay?
Right.
President Trump basically says that the person responsible for collecting our employment data isn't getting it right, and that person needs to go. Well, Democrats are now responding, and this is Senator Padilla calling for an investigation into President Trump's firing of the BLS chief. Listen.
I think an investigation is certainly in order. The example after example of Donald Trump weaponizing no longer just the Department of Justice. When he's trying to weaponize the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that tells you a lot about their insecurity about the economy and the state of economic affairs in America.
Erica McIntarfer is her name, and President Trump is essentially saying, after that jobs report on Friday that revealed this massive revision to the prior month's data, saying there's too many errors here. This person is getting it wrong. We need new blood in there. Do you agree or disagree with the president's move?
Now, remember, we had the FOMC meeting. The Fed got together last Wednesday, and 2 members of the Fed wanted to cut rates. Now, Chris Waller, I just got to share with the audience, because he gave a speech on July 17th for cutting rates. He said 3 things. First, tariffs are one-off. A price level does not cause inflation. Second, the host of data right now argues that monetary policy should be neutral, not restrictive. And third, my final reason to cut is because the labor market looks fine on the surface, but once we account for expected data revisions like we got on Friday, he knew it was going to be weak. If he knew this, Powell knew this. If he knew this, the person in charge of the data knew this. Everyone knows this. I've talked about this for well over a year on my show. This data is terrible. It's antiquated. We know how many people took a plane in this country yesterday. They put out credit card data on a daily basis. We know what's happening, high frequency data. Why are we waiting for things that are going to be revised for 90 days to make current data? And by the way, this representative, people in this district should be pissed at him, because you're arguing for restrictive policies that hurt middle class, that hurt poor people. Credit card interest rates are going through the roof. People can't buy a house. If he's comfortable with his people, his constituents being in that situation, fine. But in the real world, when things are this bad for this long, people get fired.
Yeah.
That's the reality of life.
So there's going to be an investigation. How about an investigation into how we look at this data, which they have, by the way, done in the past, that did reveal a large number of human errors. They didn't find any nefarious activity, but there was enough errors to be concerned, and now we have more. Final thought.
It's nefarious in the sense that you won't fix it. It's nefarious in the sense that it's gone on too long and it's getting worse. It's nefarious because people are getting hurt in the process.
Amen. And policies, decisions are being made on that data, and markets are moving on that data. Charles,